And that good 6 people that are on the call. But yeah, with that, Scott, I think we can turn it over to you for an intro. I can.
Yeah. Given your considerable role in this, and you're on video.
Okay, fair enough. All right. All right, everyone. Welcome to the first Lunch and Learn for the year. We have a great schedule set up for the year. A lot of these are, well, in fact, all of them have been handpicked by our team of engineers to make sure that they're delivering value for you and your team. And so the first thing that we wanted to start out with was Cisco U and certification. So how Cisco can help you not only with getting the skill set that's needed for you to do your job, but then also help you with getting the skills that will make you attractive for future jobs. So we have with us members from our Learn with Cisco team that will go through a presentation about that experience. And then if there are any questions, we can address those afterwards. So with that, Matt, I will turn it over to you.
Outstanding. Thank you, Yuli. Nice to meet all of you. I unfortunately don't see your faces there in person. My virtual background is the San Francisco office. I'm not physically there, but I'm thrilled to be able to share with you and speak with you today. Let me share my screen. If you would, Yuli, let me know once it is coming through.
We can see it.
We can see it.
Perfect. All right, so shift into the presentation mode. I promise I'm not going to bore you with 26 slides. Most of those slides are in the appendix. Some of those will be removed before we share this presentation, this PowerPoint with you after the fact. My name is Matt Ussery. I'm a learning specialist with Cisco for state and local government, specifically supporting the Southwest and the state of California. I have been in the Learn with Cisco organization for about 5 years at this point. Prior to that, I worked with one of our Platinum Learning partners for quite a few years. So as a learning specialist, I get to help all parties to reach their outcomes, reach their goals. And today, that means I get to talk with you about Cisco certifications. So before I jump into the meat of the PowerPoint, I'm curious, when you hear the term Cisco certifications or you think about certifications, what comes to mind?
We don't have audio or anyone else except for the in-person.
Oh,
Yeah, the other folks are on mute, so they won't be able to chime in.
Good call out.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I guess imagine an answer that you heard elsewhere, and we go with that. I'm sure it's out.
I couldn't quite hear you, Scott. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just assume, other responses that you would have heard elsewhere and assume that would be of interest here.
So for quite a while, Cisco certifications and CCNA in particular have been one of the gold standards in the industry, not just for demonstrating someone's proficiency, or not just for showing that someone is smart, but demonstrating their proficiency working with networking equipment, working with networking gear. Cisco certifications in general matter because almost all organizations consider certifications when making hiring decisions. Some organizations factor it into things like performance evaluations or promotion or things like that. And of critical importance with Cisco credentials and certifications. And this is one of the reasons that for a long time it's been one of the gold standards. Of critical importance is that the credentials align to the skills that are needed to administer or implement the systems that your organizations have already purchased, they've already invested in. So it's not just a check the box, I've passed a multiple choice exam. You have to actually understand the technology and the things that are relevant to your role to be able to pass the certification exam. So it's not something that's easy on the one hand. It's not something that's easy, but it's something that carries weight once you achieve that certification, you get that credential. The framework of the certifications, and part of the reason that if we had more audio, I would have had more of an interactive, just more of a conversational approach to this. But the framework was revamped pretty significantly in 2020. So even though the certifications have been around for 20 plus years, the framework was revamped pretty significantly just before the pandemic. So perfect timing. And it was revamped in such a way that it simplified, on the one hand, it simplified the process and it removed some of the prerequisites. It removed some of the stepping stones, but it also opened up more opportunities to grow out and expand your understanding, expand your reach within technology in general. Let me switch over to the next slide. So I said that it simplified it. This slide does not look like it's simplified, but the framework, so there is a progression, generally speaking, from entry level to expert. CCIE certification carries a lot of weight. Actually, it's some folks have been known to tattoo their CCIE, their certification number, because it is a significant accomplishment and demonstration of someone's reach and understanding of technology. That being said, when the framework was revamped, the prerequisites were essentially all taken away. So someone that has maybe had a certification in the past, but they've changed roles a couple of times, they have let that certification lapse, they've not recertified, or someone that's brand new in career, or someone that has been working in IT forever but just never jumped through the hoops to study and take the exam. They can jump in pretty much anywhere in this spectrum. So wherever you are in your personal career progression, there's a space for you to start. You don't have to go back to the very beginning. Prior to 2020, you had to start at the CCNA or at the associate level, and you had to stick within a specific silo or a specific track. You also had to recertify, take an exam every 3 years, or your certification would go away. So the way that the framework works now, there are exams associated with each of these levels that are specified here on the slide. So there is an entry-level exam, the CCST. There's an associate level certification in a few different tracks. So CCNA or CyberOps Associate or DevNet Associate, which actually has just been rebranded. It's now CCNA in automation. The CCNP or professional level, there are several different tracks, if you will. The framework for accomplishing any of these certifications is pretty straightforward, and the framework is exactly the same. So for CCNA, which by far there's the most interest historically in that, the CCNA is one exam. You pass one exam, you have the credential. CCNP, it does not matter which track we're talking about. CCNP, you have to pass 2 exams. You no longer have to go back to CCNA. you only have to pass 2 exams. One is a core technology exam, and the second exam is an elective within that specific track. So oftentimes when I'm having a conversation with an individual, I will, and I'm looking at I will share the link for a website from Cisco that has this information as well as clickable links to drill into the specific areas. I typically use security as the example because there's a course, it's SISE is the terminology here within Learn with Cisco. The ICE course is relevant to a lot of folks that are working in technology, even if they're not security analysts. So for someone that needs the skills for their role, if they go and study up on ICE, they pass an exam, well, right off the bat, now they have a specialist credential and they're halfway to a CCNP certification in security. That framework of passing 2 exams, it's exactly the same. It doesn't matter if we're talking about enterprise networking or data center or security, etc. It's the same framework. It's just a different list of ingredients that go into that cake. For CCIE certification, CCIE is the only certification currently where there's a prerequisite. So let's say I used security as the example a moment ago. The prerequisite to pursue CCIE in security is the security core CCNP level course, or CCNP level certification. You pass that exam, now you're qualified to go and pursue the lab, to go through the lab exam. So that is the only prerequisite. So just as an illustration, for me, I've been working for 15 plus years in IT education related roles, but I've never been in a technical role for me personally. I've never gotten a CCNA. I have done a business related Cisco certification for customer success, but I've never gotten a Cisco certification, technical certification. I could go straight into CCNP. I could get a CCNP in any of these areas with passing 2 exams. Now, for me personally, because of my background, because of my day-to-day with my job, that would be very difficult for me. But for someone that's been working in the industry for a long time, let's say in networking, that is something that would be a reasonably attainable goal for folks that have the background and the day-to-day job working in networking, for example.
And Matt, if I could interject for just a second, I think it's good to give context here, right? So if you look at Cisco is the OG of certifications. We did it before anybody else did, right? In the 90s, we built a certification. And what did that do? That gave people jobs. That led people to roles or extending their roles within their current company. And we really focused on that. And Cisco certification, because of that, became very popular and really maintained that popularity for a very long time. Then we had cloud come around, right? AWS, Microsoft, Google. Those certifications became attractive to people because infrastructure started to move a lot to the cloud, and you needed the skills in your jobs to get those, right? So we started to lull a little bit on Cisco. We didn't have the continual growth that we had seen year over year in these certifications. And now we're in the era of AI. And all of a sudden, Cisco is the company to get certified with. And I'll tell you why. Because Cisco is one of the few companies that can do AI on Cisco, which means we provide the infrastructure for AI to run and run effectively within your enterprise. We have AI in Cisco. We have products that have AI built into them that provide this extended functionality. One of them is what we're presenting to you right now on is WebEx, right? A lot of AI in WebEx to eliminate noise, background noise, all the way to summaries and action items that you have after these presentations, right? All that's generated by AI. And then we have the with AI. And that's really almost the most important area with Cisco. And that is we're providing tooling and models around our expertise, which is networking and IT infrastructure. And we're providing these tools to run adjacent to you in your everyday work. And we're updating all of our training and certifications around all those concepts. So now, after that cloud kind of lulling a little bit, now we're seeing again that upward trajectory where Cisco certifications really are the relevant certification again when it comes to this new engagement in needing data center resources and capabilities in this era of AI. So I hope that provides some context as to like why we're doing this. The other thing I wanted to note that Matt had touched on is we made it real easy to recertify. So if I hold an AWS certification, professional level as well. The only way for me to renew that is to take the test again. But what really have I learned? What new skills have I gained? We changed all that. We changed that paradigm completely in our certification courses. So if you get your CCNA, you need 30 what we call continuing education credits to renew that certification. So you could take really any of our training that amounts to 30, and usually it's like 2 courses, right? But it could be on new technology that will help you expand your knowledge base, not revisit it, right? That's the whole point of what we're trying to do here. We're trying to not only extend a bunch of new certifications and capabilities so that you can get those new job roles or move forward in your career, but we're trying to make it very easy for you to not only renew your current skill set, but to show that incremental add of knowledge and skills as you move forward. So that's really what we built here. I know this chart looks a little confusing, but really it's very simple. In each of those categories he has in the middle for your professional certification, you just need 2. You need a core course and one of the electives, and that's it. You certify at professional level for data center or for collaboration or for enterprise networking. It's really that simple. And we are committed to that simplicity and allowing you to move that needle forward in your career. So that's really where we're at. So sorry to interject there,
No.
Matt, but I wanted to provide that context.
No, that's good timing. And Peter, you haven't seen the next slides. I'm glad that you gave a preview about speaking to the AI pieces. But further to your point in terms of the continuing education program and maintaining the certification, that was one of the huge changes beginning of 2020 when the framework was revamped. Because no longer do you have to recertify, take an exam every 3 years to maintain that certification. No, it used to be that you had to stay within your specific silo, stay within your specific track. Otherwise, you had to go back to the very beginning and take the foundational exams, which was a pain in the butt.
And not useful. Honestly, not useful for your career, right? I mean,
exactly. It's not expanding your understanding of IT and your impact on your organization, but it's just staying in a silo. We don't have that anymore because of the continuing education program. So when it comes to there's never going to be a time that security is less important than it is today. There's never going to be a time where automation is less important than it is today. I've been using that explanation for 10 years and it's still accurate, and it's going to continue to be accurate because of the importance on automation, the importance of security, and with the tools. Again, we'll jump into the AI piece here in a little bit more in a minute, but especially in consideration with the changes in technology, there will never be a time where security or automation are going to be less important. So having the ability to maintain your credential and build a skill set in security or in automation or in AI and not have to just jump through a whole bunch of steps just to catch your certification up to where it previously was, it's so much better in terms of impact on individuals as well as organizations. So that said, let's talk about what certifications, what's next. What we've talked about, what we have had, what we have now, where we came, where we were, how we got here. Let's talk about what's next, and that's AI. So why should we pay attention to AI? That's a hypothetical question. It's not just because it's in articles every day on CNBC or it's buzzwords on social media. AI is already changing the way that we do business, the way that we manage networks, the way that we build things. And Cisco is a leader in that. Cisco is leading a consortium of organizations in information and communication technology, or ICT. And ICT has done a study on AI, among other things. And they've called out that AI skills already span almost 80% of tech jobs. And it's only growing in importance for everybody else, even outside of IT. One illustration, and I don't have a screenshot of this, one illustration is a release from Governor Newsom's office in December. And I've actually got I've got his statement. There was a lot in the release, but at the top, statement directly from Governor Newsom stated that California is at the forefront of AI technology and is home to some of the most successful and innovative companies and academic leaders in the world. We're not going to sit on the sidelines and let others define the future for us, but we're going to do it responsibly, making sure we capture the benefits, mitigate the harms, and continue to lead with the values that define this state. So further down in that release, Cisco was referenced as a partner that is already working with meeting the challenges of upskilling because, and Peter, I wish that I had seen the slide, one of the slides that you shared on a different call this morning. I wish I had seen that before this morning. Apologies, I should have connected with you before. But the way that Peter described it in this other call this morning is 10 years ago, skilling in AI, it was different. The need was different and the way to go about it was different than it is today. And towards that end, we have already been working, we've already built some things to specifically support where we are now and where the direction of the industry is going as far as skilling needs for related to Gen AI. So there is so I've got 4 things called out here on this slide. There's an AI business practitioner course. There is a credential, there's a badge once you complete that course. That specific course and content is geared basically for anyone that touches a computer in the next 5 years. They should take this course. After that is we get into more of the meat and potatoes for tech-related skilling and certification. So the AI technical practitioner, that course has already been developed and released. That certification exam, correct me if I'm wrong, Peter, but that launched in December, I believe, for the certification, the specialist badge.
Yes. Yeah.
The AI Cisco Data Center AI Specialist, this one is a professional or CCNP level course. That one is launching next month. So I've still got this as winter 2026. So that is Peter is
Actually,
for
it's going to
the
be
course.
it's going to be for it's going to be in February, right?
Okay.
So it's going to be February 9th is a specific date for
Perfect.
that one.
Thank you.
Yep.
And the content, the course is already out there, isn't it?
Yes, content's already there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then the CCDE in AI infrastructure, that content, that credential is already released as well. And
Yeah.
further, go ahead, Peter.
I think for context here, I think Matt was alluding to that, is that, you know, I've been working on AI projects for quite some time now, over a decade. And if you look at that and you look at the skills related to AI up until about 3 years ago, they're very focused on modeling, algorithm development, machine learning, uh, deep learning exercises, and creating models. Um, those were the skills around AI, very academic in many cases, extremely data science related. And what you see now is a complete paradigm shift in some of those examples that Matt had shown previously with the ICT Jobs Report or the MIT Iceberg studies, where generative AI skills now apply to every job and across all kinds of different verticals and all kinds of different skill sets within everyday work environments. And so this is all new training that you're seeing here. And that new training is focused on those generative AI skills, right? And those skills really cross a very wide paradigm of things from security all the way to utilizing AI in an effective way in your everyday workflows, right? And how to get the best results from AI so that they're usable in a business context, and how to evaluate the AI tools, not only from a effectiveness, but also an economic standpoint, right? We provide skilling around all these different areas of generative AI so that you can apply them to your job and start working more efficiently. And we accredit them with these certifications to show your employers and potential employers that you have acquired those skills.
Hey, Matt and Peter, I have a couple of questions. First, at Cisco Press, written any books, digital or otherwise, that are available for these?
Did you hear the question?
Yeah, I heard that. Cisco Press is kind of an ancillary output of the courses themselves. These courses are all new, so as we develop those courses and release these courses, which we have now, the press comes after, right? That there's an editing process to books that takes a little while longer. There's a little bit of a lag, but I will say that Cisco Press will be involved in this. Also, if you take any of these in a instructor-led course, you basically get a very editable book online where you can take notes, study for your exams, etc., in a whole nother learning environment within our ecosystem. And so we definitely, like, this is all part of what we do, right? We provide you education in all those different modalities: digital, instructor-led, and in books.
And the instructor-led part are, I assume, our training partners like Skyline, Global Knowledge, able to
Yes,
use as
Right.
well.
definitely. Yeah.
Those already out for those two at least, or do you know?
Oh, the data center AI specialist course is getting released next week. That will allow you, as I said, to get a specialist infrastructure certification. That is one leg of your CCNP, as Matt mentioned, and that is getting released next week, and will be available from our partners. As part of that release, our partners are all part of the alpha and instructor training to deliver those courses. So you'll see them popping up next week on Learning Locator.
So for AI biz and AI tech, those trainings are already available through Skyline or.
Those are digital. Those are digital right now, right? Because they're not longer than a day and a half of training, right? So they're not really fit for instructor led.
Got it. So the
They
training
likely-
material online would
There
be-
likely will be live instructor-led deliveries of those, especially the AI tech. In
Yeah.
terms of uh, in terms of delivery, there's a lot that we can do depending on the need of the organization. So some organizations, it will surprise me if in the next quarter we don't have several private group deliveries, private group trainings of AI biz. It will surprise me if by the end of the quarter that we've not done that. But that is something that we 100% can do.
Yes.
And as that continues to progress, it would surprise me if the learning partners don't follow suit in having publicly available sessions of those courses as well.
That's right.
Is that correct, Peter?
Yes, that's
Perfect.
correct.
Thank you.
And just a quick note, I put a message in the chat for the folks that are attending but on mute virtually. So one, thank you for joining. But if you have any questions that you'd like us to address, just go ahead and type them into the chat and I'll make sure that the speakers see them and answer them for you.
Thank you for doing that, Yuli, because especially since I can't see it when I'm in screen share mode.
Right.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
Mhm.
So I did want to just mention again, and we've touched on it a couple of times, with these new courses, the new content, if you already have certifications, these will include, if you go through the trainings for these, it will qualify you for continuing education credit to maintain credentials you already have. So you can expand your understanding and actually more future-proof your skill set as things are shifting, as things are changing. That said, I had to put something here on Cisco learning credits because, pardon me, throat's getting a little dry. I visited family in LA over the holidays and had the good fortune of catching the flu like millions of people over the holidays. So still getting over that. Had to put something about Cisco learning credits because many of the organizations you work for either already do have learning credits or they have been Learn with Cisco customers in the past. So that being said, if you've got any questions on, my voice is going out, I apologize. I'm not expecting this to happen. If you are going to be pursuing certifications, check with you can always drop me an email. I can look into it for you to see if there's a team captain overseeing learning credits already for your organization. And if there are not learning credits already set up, that might be something we can work with your account manager to set up in future purchases for the organization. Those learning credits can be used across the board for certification exams, for courses, for Cisco Live, for Cisco U, so digital learning, which I believe a number of your organizations have already gotten involved with and leveraged for skilling. So it gives a lot of flexibility. So that being said, finally, I just wanted to say thank you for giving us the time to talk through these things with you. I am more than happy to work with you individually, or if you're trying to build something for your team, build something for your organization. We have a large team of folks in Learn with Cisco that are here to support you. As the learning specialist for the state of California, I would be the primary point of contact for individual questions like, hey, how do I get CCNP or things like that. But we've got a lot of other folks like Peter, and I'm so glad that you were able to join, Peter, because you're the product owner for the AI skilling, and you've been super helpful. So thank you for chiming in. And that said, if there are any other questions, I'm more than happy to have some Q&A time.
Let me see.
Questions so far?
No questions. Okay. And any questions from anyone in the room?
Are the community colleges still using Cisco networking academies? All these are great.
Did you hear that? I can repeat it if not. Oh, now you're on mute, Matt.
I heard a couple of keywords, but not the full question.
Okay. Are the community colleges?
Yeah, community colleges still, do they still have networking academies?
Do the community colleges still have networking academies?
They do. And I can explain from just a big picture standpoint. We're in the same organization as the Networking Academy. There is a little bit of overlap, but there's a little bit of overlap between what they do and what we do. But that's primarily at the associate level or entry level for folks that have not had a number of years in working in networking or working in technology. And Network Academy courses tend to be like a semester long sort of program, sometimes in evenings, sometimes on weekends, things like that. Learn, our organization where we sit, so it's NetAcad is effectively a sister organization to us. We're part of the same vertical, same big picture organization, but we focus more on the skilling for folks that are going deeper dive into technology.
Yeah, I think a good way to define the paradigm between NetAcad and Cisco U is that Cisco U content is geared toward the professional that's enrolled, right? You got a job, you want to, as I mentioned earlier, you want to expand your reach, your capabilities, your skill sets. NetAcad really focuses on that very early career internship or student persona, right? And we're really trying to build skills almost from scratch, right? You don't know networking at all? Boom. You don't know security? This is a great place to start, right? Our security program in NetAcad is fantastic to learn the basic fundamentals of how security can help you and how that might be a career path for you. All those things are done in conjunction with learning institutions, as you mentioned, and they're done throughout the world, and they're all funded by Cisco. So that's really the difference between the two areas of content, and that kind of makes it easy. And even if you put in the AI paradigm, right? They're very academic, focused more on data science and really introduction to somebody who hasn't really worked with AI much would be in Network Acad, where we're focused on how can I use AI to manage my infrastructure? How can I use AI in my everyday workload to do things more efficiently? How can I promote AI projects within my enterprise, right? This is the differences between the contents, and it's pretty simple to see that delineation as you go through the content.
Peter, you mentioned Cisco U. Can you elaborate a little bit for people who may not be familiar on what that is? Yeah, what Cisco U
Certainly,
is.
yeah, certainly. Cisco U is a digital platform that allows us to provide our content. We are a subscription service, and we have many programs that are geared toward government agencies and specific requirements around government agencies that are also delivered through that digital learning platform. Most of the courses in that digital learning platform are also available, as we mentioned earlier, in a instructor-led modality. Even if they are not, as we mentioned with AI Tech, not currently in instructor-led, we have a team of folks who have worked with government agencies before that can build custom courses that really go through very specific requirements that they might need. For instance, for the state of California, you might be certifying utilizing Microsoft technologies around AI. We can build specific courses around not only the AI interfaces, which are very common across the board, but what's going on in the back end? Where is security happening? Why was that chosen by the state of California? We can add that type of context around a customized course as well. We have a whole team of people that do that.
That's Cisco U you're talking about is literally u.cisco.com.
That's it. Yep.
It's easy to remember. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there's also some free courses in that portal as well.
That's right. So we have our own entry level content, and it's called tutorials. And tutorials, think of those as bite-sized learning around one of them that's the most popular is using large language models for the network engineer, right? So it walks you through a step-by-step scenario of utilizing large language models in your everyday work as a network engineer. And you actually get badged for that as well. Fran, who's our executive for human resources, who we all report to, she actually took that and got badged for the networking with LLMs, because she's just a technology enthusiast as well. So they're again bite-sized, very approachable, free content that we have on Cisco U, and all you need is to create a login for Cisco U to get access.
And I did just drop the link into the chat, especially for the folks that are
Great.
Have joined virtually. There are 3 different tiers for Cisco U. One is free, and it'll let you. There's the tutorials and some bite-sized, some additional content, some podcasts and things like that that are available in free. There's usually a learning path that is included in the free tier. The other 2 tiers, the essentials is content at the associate level. So think CCNA, DevOps associate, or CyberOps associate. And actually Peter, correct me, which tier is AI Biz and AI Tech? I know the answer, but
Essentials.
Okay.
Essentials.
I knew the answer, but I was asking just to double check.
And free, right? So the first track of AI Biz, so we give you a free, probably 3 hours of training on AI Biz for free if you log in. And I know that some of the people in the state of California have checked it out. And I think that's why we got included in that press release you alluded to earlier. I think they saw that training and they were like, yes, this is what we need to learn. And one of the unique things about our training is it's scenario based, right? So it's walking you through real world business examples of how to do and how to integrate AI into your everyday workflows and job.
This is the piece that you were just referring to, Peter.
That's right. That whole track is free. So there's how many courses in there? I think there's 4 courses in there.
3 sections, 3 total sections.
Yeah, there's 3 tracks, but in the free content, the first track you have 1, 2, 3, 4 courses, 5 courses. So about 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours of training for free.
Yeah, I'm glad that I knew the answer to that, but wanted to give you a chance to shine. So,
worries.
the AI Essentials again will includes the content. So CCNA, CyberOps Associate, the Gen AI skilling, Gen AI learning paths. The All Access tier is suited for folks that are pursuing CC. It includes everything. So even for folks that are pursuing CCIE level certification, would benefit from, can get value out of the all access tier, because it'll include all of the CCNP level courses, the core, as well as the electives, the deep dive technical courses. And again, all of this said, you don't have to certify to benefit from the skilling, because the courses, the content is related to the skills that you actually need in your normal day to day, and for where you want to go in your career. What other questions or curiosities?
I think that's it. So, Matt and Peter, thank you so much for your time this morning. We will, of course, make the recording available to the folks that weren't able to attend. But yeah, thank you very much. This was hugely helpful.
Our pleasure. Thank
All
you
right.
for including us, Yuli.
Absolutely. That